All right, everybody. Chicago Hockey Radio Postgame Show. Lee Grossman, Justin Lynch joining us finally for the night. And Tassos Kirkos bringing it to you live and in color. Hawks lose 3-2 to the Carolina Hurricanes. Second time in 3 weeks they've lost to the Canes by a goal, except this one didn't go past regulation. Thank you to everybody that joined us for the live stream. That was a lot of fun. Really active chat tonight.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Like the guys that come in there, and guys and ladies that come in there and chat with us, it's a ton of fun. So thank you to everybody doing that. I'm going to plug God first at the beginning before we get into it and throw it over to Justin, because Justin's going to need to carry us this show. We've just been out of it from the live stream, and my brain is mush right now.
I think I'm locked in.
You can count on me, Captain.
I am heavily doubting how locked in Lee is right now. But no, just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Shout out the Barn for the 4 free tickets we're giving away. 100 level next week against Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and the Edmonton Oilers. That should be a really good game. We're giving away 4 tickets. So you really get up to 4 entries in that. You're like, wait, Tassos, what do you mean? Like, how do I get 4 entries into this? What I mean is, if you and 3 other friends decide you're all going to go to the game together, then you could have them.
So big brain. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. I mean, I said it on the stream. So if you didn't think of it until just now, then you weren't listening when I was talking earlier. But yeah, you could get 3 friends. You could be like, hey, if we win this, fellas, we're all going together. So tell your friends to enter the contest. It's super easy. Shout out the Barn for giving us those tickets. We also have a live show at Midwest Coast Brewing Wednesday, March 5th. It's a game against the Ottawa Senators. We will be live streaming the game on YouTube, just like we did, except we will be at the bar, and you can get $5 beers. And Tim Tebow and I, we went to the bar last night, or yesterday afternoon, excuse me. The beer is delicious, and it's well worth more than $5. So getting $5 beers is kind of a steal here.
Yeah, getting ripped and then just watching the game with CHR is going to be objectively going to be a fun time.
Absolute cinema.
Our whole studio is at we're going to have to package up the whole studio and bring it to Midwest Coast. And then we're all going to package it up real quick and then bring it all back here to bring you guys all the post-game shows. So,
and we're going to be absolutely hammered at that point, I'm sure.
Oh, you know it.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Will neither confirm nor deny that.
Allegedly, we might be
post-game show, right?
Allegedly, as they say.
Allegedly. Yeah. So Midwest Coast ticket giveaway and Sunday night. So, if you're trying to enter that and you haven't already, do it now. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, please, and follow us on Instagram. Leave a 5-star rating and review. You guys are awesome for doing so. Plug God Tassos, as always. All right, Hawks lose 3-2 to the Carolina Hurricanes. Justin, I'm going to throw it over to you for some big takeaways before we go period by period here. But just your thoughts, brother.
Yeah, well, first of all, not to glaze you guys, but I thought you all did a fantastic job in that live stream. I was kind of in the chat there kicking up with you guys, and it was very entertaining. But yeah, 3-2 loss to Carolina. Yet another loss to them, lost them last week as well. So nothing new there, but it was a slow start to this game too. I thought the first period was very reminiscent of some of those sleepy second periods you've seen all season, right? I think we had 3 shots on goal all period. Took us, I think, 15 minutes to get that first shot on goal. So that was rough, but I think they got better as the game went along, right? The third period was strong, showed signs of a comeback. That Bedsy goal, we'll get to it later more in depth, but what an absolute beauty of the breakaway. That was really sick there. 5-0-2. So he was playing frustrated, pissed off all game. So it's good to see him get rewarded there. Seth Jones, 7-game point streak, increased that trade value as well. So from that standpoint, positive. They're kind of knocking on the door late. Thought they had an opportunity to tie the game up, but unfortunately didn't quite happen there. But yeah, Hawks just aren't really capable of winning consecutive games. We've seen it all season. Yeah. Tough game against a Rantanen-led Canes team. Not a surprise he gets his first goal against the Hawks, but you'll know it. You already know what's coming. His first goal as a Cane against his future team, the Chicago Blackhawks. So
Justin,
really
you
excited.
and I called that yesterday on the show. We were like, oh, and I thought Hall was too. Obviously, he was a late scratch because of an illness, but
I think he was afraid to play us tonight, eh?
I said that as a joke, but they were also showing some pregame. They were showing some quotes he made about his time as a Blackhawk, and I pointed it out to Lee on the
spicy.
Screen. It was really negative. And I know it didn't go great here. We've talked about how it wasn't what it was supposed to be here, but I don't know, for him to come out and say,
I think so much of that stuff was just kind of out of context. He wasn't slandering the Hawks. He was just saying that the organization is moving in a way that this roster and this team is getting younger.
That was the second half of the quote, though. You did miss the first half of the quote, because the first half was like, I'm pretty happy they traded me, this, that, and the other.
Well, of course.
He didn't love the 4 or 5 minutes the last few weeks, right? But
he's not going to. But sorry to cut you off, Justin. But he's not going to. He's not going to go out to the media and be like, "Man, I really wish I was still in Chicago. Like, I'm so bummed I got traded. I don't want to be here." Like, obviously, he's not going to say that. He's going to say that he's excited for this new opportunity and that he's on a team that's contending. Blah blah blah. He's not like. What do you expect him to do? I don't know. I feel like I've watched like a couple interviews of him since he's moved. And he didn't seem bitter. Like, it really did seem like he wanted to be in Chicago, but it just didn't work out. You guys talked about, I think on the show yesterday, about how like the contract, I think that the reason why he didn't re-sign was because the Blackhawks were probably offering him a pretty low number that he didn't want to take. I don't think it was because he didn't want to re-sign in Chicago.
Yeah, that's the thing, because words kind of don't really agree with his actions. Like, he says, he wanted to stay at Blackhawk, yet didn't. But I just don't really know what he's expecting, right? Like, he's like, I wanted to stay here maybe for a while for my career, right? Settle down. But it's like, we're rebuilding. He even said himself, like, of course they're going to play the young guys over him. Like, that's kind of how it works. So from that standpoint, I just don't really know. I think his expectations just weren't in the right place for Taylor Hall. But, and yeah, I didn't see him today, which is kind of a shame. I was looking forward to watching Hall as he played tonight. Kind of took a little bit of the excitement away from me, although it was still not being a fun game. Aho as well was out of this game, and he tends to be a Hawks killer. Obviously owned us in overtime last week, so he was out too. Gave me a little bit of false confidence saying in this game, like, okay, maybe we have a shot here, right? Maybe we can win this. And right away, the Canes just set the tone there. Get a power play, and Jarvis scores a shorthanded goal. Kurashev just gets bullied off the puck there. He had a terrible game, Philip Kurashev.
He did.
I mean, his brutal season continues. He had a nice game, the other week against Carolina, but he did not follow it up today. Ilya Mikheyev, though, one of his bi-weekly performances of all time, where he suddenly becomes McDavid. He had a nice goal there on the break. I'm not sure where these performances come from. He's like such a bipolar player, but love to see it. I mean, Mikheyev from Foligno and Dickinson, like, not the most exciting, threesome trio of all time there, in terms of your future Blackhawks, but you'll take the production where you could get it. So, I mean, it was a bad first period, but you leave it tied, right? So it gives them hope going to the second period, but we'll get into it. Did not start off well, right?
Well, so, I mean, like, on the first period, the first period wasn't good. The Hawks, you said 15 minutes. Dude, it was 17 minutes and 13 seconds before the Hawks got a shot on goal.
17 minutes. It was getting to a point where it's like, are they even going to get a shot this period? Like, I just wanted one. You only get one shot, right?
And they almost scored. Yeah. They almost scored on that first shot. I don't know if you remember. It was the giveaway from Peter Kochetkov right behind the net. And, Colton Dock, I think it was, like, shoots it right into the pads.
Yeah. Yeah. Good to see him get back in the lineup, too. He should have been scratched the other night. I thought he was one of the few Hawks, like, in that bottom six, had some energy there. So good to see him back. Slagger, too. I thought he had a strong game for that aspect as well.
Both of them were really good.
I thought both of them played well. Dude, I mean, giving up another shorthanded goal, though, to Jarvis was absolutely brutal. And I thought our power play all night wasn't.
It was discombobulated.
It was just that first unit looked worse than the second.
Second unit was better, and like you were saying in the live, like if they get another power play, start the second unit. Unfortunately, they didn't get that chance, right? Only had 2 power plays, but both of them are brutal. And it's funny, like 9th best power play in the league, top 10. You would not think it. You really would not. And the penalty kill is up there too. So special teams have not been a problem for this team.
I bet after tonight they're not 9th.
Well, yeah, I mean, didn't they only have 2 opportunities?
2 or 3?
Was it 3?
Maybe they'll drop a spot or 2, but definitely wasn't look like a top 10 power play tonight. Oh, to be fair, the Canes do have the best penalty kill in the league, so it was a good matchup there.
Yeah, and they scored a shorty.
Any other thoughts from the first? Like, I
thought the Canes controlled, but I didn't think they dominated. Right, I thought the Hawks hung in there. Say what you want, the Canes didn't get a ton of chance. I mean, the Hawks had a lot of blocked shots. It's not the Canes weren't getting chances, but I think they only had like 7 shots. So it's not like they were dominated. I mean, possession wise, but I thought to come out of the period tied, all things considered, was a win.
And also in the first, it's not like we didn't get in the ozone at all. It was just like we didn't get any shots on.
Well, they were blocking a ton of shots too, and that's what they do. Like when you got guys like Slavin back there, it's hard to get any opportunities.
Or love to, yeah.
Yeah, they were just shutting us down.
Yeah, I agree. The first period did not feel as bad as the second. The second
started off terrible.
Yeah. That like 2 or 3 minute window, whatever it was, where they scored 2 goals back to back. really lackadaisical. If we want to transition now to that second, unless you had
Yeah,
any more
actually,
thoughts on the first.
yeah, actually, what am I talking about? The second period was way worse than the
Yeah.
fourth. So that's kind of been a theme for the Blackhawks all year. It's always the second period. I don't know what it is. I mean, just right away. I mean, we saw Mikko Rantanen score. Was like, yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, in a way, I was kind of happy about it. So maybe he's playing with a little extra motivation tonight, right? Wants to please Davidson, get that number up in the offseason, right? Nah, I'm probably being delusional. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. We'll see. Hawks insiders seem
You say
pretty.
that every time. You say that every time, like, oh, I'm probably being delusional, but
But then when I say that, that tends to happen. So I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of.
He's trying to jinx himself. Like
It's the reverse jinx.
Yeah, it's what he wants to happen. So he's saying that he's being delusional just so that it happens. Which respect, I do the same thing.
Yeah, I thought Randon might, not struggle, but I thought without Aho, he might not be. Maybe it wouldn't be the game to, get his first goal with them. I thought him and Roslovic,
they looked really good together.
Roslovic's been a good addition there. Just a sneaky player, underrated. Doesn't really get enough props. I'm not sure what the deal with his contract is. Man, that's somebody you'll take a look at there. I'm impressed with his game. Yeah.
System guy, playing good. Good system.
You're not sold on him. You're not sold.
Scoring goals though.
But
setting up happens.
The 2 goals in a minute 7 seconds is a killer.
It kills
that when you're not able to clamp it down and be like, hey, all right, we let one bat in. It was a pretty brutal giveaway by Frank Nazar
I was gonna say,
on the first goal. Yeah. Just to pause on that for a second, I hate the pull-up play. Like it works sometimes if you have the skill.
I like
and
it.
you have, but why? Like you don't. I don't think you.
Just when those.
Sometimes it creates time and space when they see it coming.
You're gonna pull up. Instead of getting the puck deep, you're gonna pull up before you even get to the hash marks. You're gonna lose the puck to 2 Carolina Hurricanes because they're a way better hockey team than you, and then they're gonna make you pay because they go down the other way and they bury one on you, and it's Mikko Rantanen burying it. You know what I mean? Like,
look,
get the puck deep. Get the puck deep and maybe have an opportunity at maintaining possession and actually creating some sustained offensive zone time. Right?
Obviously, you're going to win this argument right now because we're talking about it after a game where Frank Nazar did it and led to
I love to glaze
a goal.
Nazar, but yeah, this was not his best game.
No, it wasn't just that play either. He had a few moments where it kind of just felt like he was getting shoved around a little bit. I will say, though, it really does feel like his first game where I was like, that was a bad game from him.
In a long time. Like, he had a bit of a run going there, to his credit. That's the thing. Like, there are a lot of people DMing me about that, too. These are young players. Like, I'm glad he's up here making those mistakes and not just, like, dominating in Rockford when he's done that all season. So I think that's going to be beneficial to him. He's going to learn from it. So, although he was allergic to shooting the puck tonight, man. He had so many opportunities to fire it on net and didn't. Bensy, I know he scored a goal later, but even, like, before that goal, there were opportunities he had to put some on net, but it was just being too unselfish. But he made up for it later. We'll get to it in the third period.
Will in chat said Tassos wants to go back to Luke Richardson hockey.
Okay, but the Luke Richardson hockey is like game the red line, dump it in, right? Like dump and chase. What I mean by dump is like if you're in the zone already,
this team sucks at dumping.
You're almost at the freaking hash marks, and you've got guys coming in on you. Dump the puck in and live another day. You know what I mean? Like,
I kind of felt like we should have been doing that on the power play tonight, just because you're facing the best penalty kill in the league. After the zone entry didn't work 3 times, dump the fucking puck in.
You think you'll learn, right?
Yeah,
you would think so. That power play is absolutely brutal. But yeah, back-to-back goals at 2 minutes is going to do it. That third goal, man, just an absolute collapse in the defense, making Jacob Slavin look like Cale Makar. I mean, he's a great defenseman, great defensive defenseman. He's not supposed to be, Quinn Hughes out there, and he just dangles the entire decor, and a pretty simple goal for him. Jackson Blake, that's another guy, man. What an underrated season he's having. You'll definitely be a good piece of that core there as well. So I thought he's
unreal.
Game.
I'm a big
I didn't realize
Jackson Blake
how
guy.
young he was.
He's Jason Blake's kid. Jason Blake played a whole season of hockey with cancer.
Damn.
His dad.
How do you even do that?
I don't know.
Goated.
Yeah.
Did Lemieux do that too? Am I wrong in saying that? Or he came back
Lemieux
from that?
came back from testicular cancer.
Okay, but he did have
Jason Blake played a whole season of hockey with cancer.
That is dedication. I hope he won the Masterton that year.
I can look it up, actually.
Well, if it was even around back then, I don't know long. That's been around for a little bit now. But yeah, I mean, they did. To Hawks' credit, though, they do escape. I mean, as bad as the second period was, they're lucky they only scored 2, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of escaped. They gave themselves an opportunity going to the third. Right, you're only down 2. It's a hockey game, right?
But I mean, dude, that kills you though, you know, like, and that's why they lost, is because they gave up 2 in quick succession. You can't do that on the road against a good team. You know, you can't fall asleep like that. And even though I know it was only 2 goals and you were just 2 behind. But it ended up being the game. We weren't able to get 2 back in the third. Just I don't know, just like tighten it up a little bit. I don't know. To your point, Justin, we have been horrible in the second period. It feels like all year.
Okay,
the defense was brutal. Sorry to cut you off there, but I was missing another bad roster decision. Why the hell was Ethan Del Mastro scratched tonight?
That was a joke.
He was so good those couple games he'd been up here, right? Had his first assist. I thought he was great in the Tampa game as well. Had a few opportunities there. And instead we're playing TJ Brody. And actually, as bad as he was, I thought Alec Martinez was worse tonight. He was brutal. I don't think we critique him enough on this show, and we're probably stuck with both of them this season. So both those guys taking up roster spots while Korchinski's dominating in the AHL, and we can't call him up because there's no space. That's wonderful. Really love that. So was not a fan of that. I think having him out there probably would have made a difference, but what are you going to do?
You could sign an all-star for how much you're paying those 2.
Yeah, I mean, both those, like you said on the show, like those were, bad additions. Like I think the long-term philosophy of KD, I agree with, but some of these short-term, decisions here, some of those signings, definitely puzzling. So hopefully you'll learn from that, right?
Okay, so I have the Jason Blake story here. I'd like to read it. October 8th, 2007, so right before the 07-08 season started, Jason Blake was diagnosed with chronic myeloid. He had leukemia, all right? Rare but highly treatable form of cancer. He played for the Maple Leafs that entire season. He played all 82 regular season games, 15 goals, 52 points. He had over 300 shots on goal.
That's crazy.
He had 52 points in 82 games, played every single game while having leukemia. And he had 300 shots on goal, over 300 shots on goal. That was a career high.
Take notes, shoot the puck.
Yeah, and he was awarded the Bill Masterton Trophy at the end of the season.
Yeah, I was like, he better have won that for them. I don't think it really gets any better than that. That's pretty cool.
No,
that's pretty cool.
So chip off the old block, Jackson Blake. Seriously,
I remember watching that U.S. World Juniors team that unfortunately that lost. That was the 2023 one. He was an underrated player in that team. When I saw that, I was like, this guy could be a decent player in the show, and it looks like he's turning into that. Yeah, to his credit. Good collegiate career. Wasn't he like a Hobie Baker finalist? Like he had a really insane season last year.
Oh, yeah. He played at North Dakota, and he was really good.
That's a powerhouse. One of the best. Yeah.
I will say, I didn't think the second period was as bad as you guys thought it was. Outside of that really, poor minute and 7 seconds. Like
it was a segment that was bad.
Yeah, but overall, especially when you go the first almost 17 and a half minutes of the game without getting a shot on goal, to say that a period that you put up how many shots?
11 shots on goal. They had more shots in that period than the rest of the game.
I think those were just mostly shots that were like squeaking through, because it didn't feel like we really had any like good opportunities. And Bedard started getting like really frustrated in the second. And he was throwing the body around at everyone.
Yeah, it's being physical, man. But hey, I think it's when you see Connor Bedard being physical, I do think that kind of wakes you up on the bench. But yeah, 11 shots on goal. That's more than they had the rest of the game. They had 20 in the game. I swear every time I check on the box score after these games, it's always like around 20 shots on goal. It's either a little less or a little more, 25 at most. I think you guys said that like on the live stream there. When was the last time the Hawks had more than 25 shots on goal? When was the last time they had 30 shots on goal? You're not gonna win a lot of games. You're just not getting opportunities. You're getting outchanced by a ton every night. Although the Canes only had 27, so I think y'all said it would be like over 30, 35. So
yeah,
that was
that's the norm. They obviously didn't end up getting that.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like the Canes dominated this game. There were just a few segments here there where it got away from the Hawks, and that's kind of been, I will say, it's been a little bit of a theme under Sorensen a bit, where like there have been kind of 5-minute increments where they've struggled, but then they come back. So, but 60-minute efforts is not going to be a thing of this team. Give us 30. And I think that's the main takeaway for me from this game. Like the first half of this game was rough, but the second half I thought was a lot better for that aspect. Third period is a prime example of that. Yeah.
All right, and I don't think we have anything else on the third or second period, but third.
Yeah, no. Yeah, let's get into it, right? I mean, you could see it was coming, right? I mean, you could tell he really wanted that. He really wanted this goal. I mean, he's playing as pissed off as I'd seen him all season, and he was rewarded for it. Seth Jones with a nice breakout pass there, gets a breakaway. And Bedard just buries it 5-hole. Beautiful goal. Good to see him get on the board there. Hawks lose with Bedard point. That's a certified Bjork Beams W. And Seth Jones, very quietly, 7-game point streak, 10 points during that run. That's got to be up there. I don't know if there's a lot of defensemen in the league who've been producing at that rate the last few games. So since that Calgary game, he's really locked in. You got to give him credit there. So I don't know. Just saying, I do think we do, got to give the guy props where it's due. And he's been playing a lot more like the early season himself lately. And I think for both sides, whether you want him here or not, it's a good thing.
The thing about Jones for me is keep it simple, stupid. When you are at your most effective, when you're not trying to do too much, when you're not trying to be Superman out there, or you're not trying to be Cale Makar or Quinn Hughes, you're just being Seth Jones, which is a guy who can snap the puck up pretty well. You're pretty sound defensively. It's not like he's TJ Brody out there defensively. Look, he's not a liability.
No.
He's just not maybe the stalwart that you envision with the price tag. But this is a guy who's like a really good defenseman in the NHL. And as long as he's not doing too much, which I get it. When you're on a team as bad as the Hawks, sometimes you feel the responsibility like, hey, I got to be doing all this stuff right now.
And he's got the contract, and he's
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
the
Yeah, he's
first
got
power
the
play
pressure,
unit.
right?
Yeah.
But if you're just like, hey, I'm going to get it up to these guys, and whether they create with it or not, that's not really my problem, because I did my job and I, was responsible and I got them the puck. And, that's what it feels like he's been doing ever since that Calgary game, right?
It really does.
I
right?
agree with you. And the assist was nice too. I had to watch it after the game because I feel like the CHSN broadcast literally cut. It was like there was a shot and then it cut, and then all of a sudden Bedard was gone on a breakaway. But it was actually a really heads up play for him. Bedard obviously took off right away after the shot happened from Carolina, and then he was able to find his tape, and Bedsy took care of it from there. But I completely agree with you, Tassos. I think he just needs to play simple. Like he doesn't need to be. He doesn't even have to try to live up to that 9.5.
You're never going to, right? Don't try to do too much out there, right? Play to your strengths. I think you've been seeing that lately. But for Bedsy, you could see it was coming, right? I was frustrated. Like Dad was texting me. I was like, the only play I have Bedsy is be more selfish, man. There's nobody else on this team who has your shot, who can finish like you do. Like if you have an opportunity, take it. Don't try to set up the play every time. I know he's a playmaker. We talked about on this show, but it's like, dude, you're a sniper. Like, get more opportunities, right? So I'm glad he got that one there, buried it. I think playing more confidence. He's been a point per game under Sorensen, so good to see it for sure. If he's producing if losses, it makes it a lot more bearable for me, right?
Yeah, he had that one opportunity. I think it was like a 2-on-1 with Bertuzzi. It was kind of like a nothing play that all of a sudden.
That's the one.
Yep, and he should have just ripped that. And I think we said that on the stream. We were like, come on, just take that yourself.
I mean, he's been finding Bertuzzi a lot lately, to be fair. But yeah, he should have shot that one.
Yeah.
I prefer, if you have a shot, take it. That's like, you got to have the shoot first mentality. Yeah.
I completely agree with you. Yeah,
I do think it was a lot
should be
more
more
energetic after that, though. Like when Bedard got that goal and it's with them one, I thought the rest of the period, like a lot of good energy. I thought the Hawks were kind of getting more looks, more chances, downing possession. I really thought this was actually one where they could, tie this and get this to overtime and probably end up losing 4-3 like they did last week, but they never got to that point, unfortunately. Felt like when the goalie was pulled there, did you guys see this too? It felt like Bedard was maybe tripped at one point. Maybe there was a missed call there.
Yeah. I think we really just shot ourselves in the foot with that Reichel tripping call with whatever that was.
Yeah, that one was rough.
Like
that
5 minutes
took away.
left or 4 minutes
That's
left.
right. Yeah, that takes away 2 minutes to really try to tie this up, right? Instead you're playing, defense conservative, which every time that tied up is not ideal. So otherwise, not Reichel had a fine game, right? He hasn't really made a lot of mistakes like that lately, so tough to see. I think in general, besides Bedsy, yeah, it was kind of a tougher game for a lot of the young players. Not Noah Allen, though. I will say in the defense, he was a standout. Another solid game for him, gets back in the lineup, right? So I thought he was a standout. But otherwise, a lot of young players on this team, after a really strong performance against the Lightning, maybe it's a little tougher today. But there's going to be games like that,
Dude,
right? I'm glad. Yeah.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that Nolan Allen hit on Andrei Svechnikov. He leveled him.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get to that. Yeah, but that was a great hit for sure. Good to see him being more physical too. Like, you can play with that. A lot of defensemen have that size, have that frame. Use it. Especially someone like Crevier. Like you're what, almost 7
This
foot
is
tall.
hockey, dude.
Yeah.
You should be laying your body around, right? Not too much stick checks, poke checks. That's great and all, using your stick, but use your body too.
Yeah, I'm not asking Crevier to be Matt Rempe, but it's like put a body on someone.
Can I just say, I say jokingly on the streams, I'm like, good stick, because like I heard Jeff Merrick like over maybe a year or two ago saying how like you know, when I was growing up playing hockey, and Justin, maybe you feel the same way. Like it used to be like good hit, what you would say on the bench, right? Like when somebody hit somebody, you'd be like good hit, good hit, good
It's
hit.
a galvanizing moment on the bench.
And now now good hit has been replaced by good stick. Good stick, good stick, good stick. You know what I mean? Because guys don't use the body as much, right?
Physicality's going down. Pat Maroon talked about in the Spin Chicklets Eber, that foul he watched. We'll get more to it in the show tomorrow, but like the game has changed vastly from that standpoint. You still see it. You still see players like that occasionally, like the Rempies, but they're becoming more, you don't see it as much and often, right? It's more skill. It's more using the stick, less than the body. I definitely fell victim to that when I was an defenseman. I had the frame, I had the physical, but the physicality was just not there. Like I was all about, if I can make plays with the stick and not use the body, I would. And maybe that came back to bite me there. That's probably why I didn't go pro.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe
there may be other few reasons there. Yeah, no.
I'm just kidding.
I had that cue. I didn't have the skill. Yeah.
Oh gosh, relax. I did not have the skill either. No.
I think I'm the most talented hockey player here.
People in the stream.
Well, yeah, you can't even skate.
The people in the stream were asking for I think one person asked for when are we teaching Lee to play hockey
we gotta do that.
YouTube series, and
that's an off-season idea.
I was pushing for sooner rather than later, although Lee was like, "Oh, we got time. I think he might be a little scared.
He's scared over there. Yeah, he's shivering his timbers. That wouldn't surprise me.
Are you scared?
It's not that I'm scared. It's just that regardless of when we do it, it's going to be some hilarious content. So, like, I was just saying, like, if it happens down the road when the audience is even bigger, it's going to be even funnier.
Yeah,
not just like a niche thing.
I think it'd be funny now.
Yeah, an opportunity to get back on the ice. We got to get up a little bit there, right? Get some ODR going. Love to see that.
I was laughing. I think they deleted their comment, but somebody said restructure Seth Jones' contract to 8 years by $16 million.
Relax.
Just made me laugh.
That's funny.
Before we, I wanted to say that Nolan Allen had a couple of big hits, but he also had a few like really solid defensive plays. It wasn't just the hits. I felt like he was in a lot of the right areas tonight, and I thought he looked pretty solid, especially playing with he who shall not be named on the other side of that D pairing. So
it's not Voldemort.
Yeah, right. No, TJ Brody might be though. That's probably the noise TJ Brody makes when he's trying to move the puck up the ice.
All right, do you guys want to do Canes talk first, or you want to do negatives?
I feel like we've been saying a lot of negatives. Let's get to the Canes. Yeah.
Okay. So, obviously you should beat the Blackhawks even without Sebastian Aho and Taylor Hall. Like you should be able to beat this Blackhawks team. Peter Kochetkov, I don't know why he thinks he's a goofball. That's a good way to describe it. I don't know
Chicago
why he
Wolves legend.
He's like Marty Brodeur back there, like handling the puck, but like every time he plays the puck, if I was Rod Brindamore, I'd be like yelling under my breath just some obscenities that I won't say on air here. But
he had some clears of the PK though. He was like a third defenseman out there.
I guess, but like for every one of those you're getting, a muffin to Colton Dock. Another one too.
There were some
some
things he got away with out there. Yeah, Kurashev Dock, like you said. Yeah.
No, but that one to Dock that should have been a goal, like that negates all the other times he successfully does it. Yeah. Like if you give a team a free goal in the game, it doesn't matter if you clear the zone 6 times. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah, he bailed himself out though. Yeah, he bailed himself out. If it goes in though, that's one thing, right?
I don't want to be too negative because I love
it. He doesn't need to be Ron Hextall out there, right?
But he does that. He does he leaves the crease. He does the poke check thing, like he's really wild with it. And I do want to ask you guys, like if come game 1 of the playoffs, who's your starter? If you're Rod Brindamore, who are you starting game 1 of the playoffs?
I mean, I feel like Anderson's just such a liability at the injuries. You can just never fully, you don't know if he's fully there. So, I mean, from that standpoint, I think Kochetkov, but he's a little more unpredictable, right? He has his moments, but just a little, I think Anderson's got that experience, though. So that's tricky.
I think that's
just because he has more games, probably Kochetkov. But yeah, that's. We'll find out then. I don't think you can answer that now.
I was just going to say, it's an impossible question for me to answer because I guarantee you Rod Brindamore doesn't even know the answer to that question yet. I think it's going to take the last few games of the season and come playoff time, whoever's hotter, whoever's been playing better. If Freddie Anderson has been playing consistently and remains healthy, fingers crossed, I could see him getting the nod just because, I don't know, been there, done that, older veteran, less of a wild card. But who knows? I feel like I could definitely, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I wouldn't be surprised if we see both.
It could be a tandem in the playoffs. Don't see that for
not like a tandem, but like like if Kochetkov starts and has does what he did tonight, and then they lose, here comes Freddie Anderson. Like I don't think either one of them going to the postseason is going to be like this is the guy he's going to be playing every game.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I think Tassos, you did mention it, right? There is something that could be this team's downfall come playoff time. It could be the net minding. Yeah. I think there's potential there, but I could see it going the other way too. Like it's hard to find a weakness of this team. I think, man, when Aho's like him in the lineup with Rantanen, that's gonna be such a 1-2 punch, man. When those two get going, the chemistry, good buddies from Finland as well. So yeah, and then Hollis, you'll be interested to see how he fits in, right? Is it gonna be probably a second line? I have to think is gonna be where he lives, but I'm gonna be fascinated to see how that plays out there with him. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I know we had some optimism in chat and we only lost by a goal. But tonight was one of the games where I never felt like we were going to win, if I'm being honest with you. Like, yeah, really at no point. I felt like it was going pretty poorly the whole time. We had our moments. They obviously only scored 3 goals. But to me, it didn't feel like we really had a shot at it, and I think that's kind of why Bedard got so pissed off. But the reason why I'm saying that is because this team didn't have Sebastian Aho. Like they played Sebastian Aho lists and still looked like that. I know it's just the Blackhawks.
And Taylor Hall less too, right? He would have had a game against us. So yeah, I was feeling pretty optimistic going into this game. But yeah, as the game wore along, it did feel like they're controlling it. But the third period, though, I really thought that was kind of starting to come back our other way. And I thought there were moments that period were like, yeah, after that Bedard goal, yeah, we could tie this up and get the OT. But we just get narrowly edged again, like the Chicago Bears in the NHL, right?
But yeah, I was just going to say that I think they're a legit team.
Oh yeah,
we talked about it on the stream a little bit. Just like path to the finals is really important, because they're probably going to be playing New Jersey first round. So we'll have to see how the regular season shakes out and what the seeding is. But I mean, dude, this team with Mikko Rantanen, woof.
Yeah, once he gets comfortable and confident there, yeah, I mean it's gonna be something.
Yeah, and they bring up these guys too, Ryan Suzuki playing in his first game and stuff.
That's
and
right, yeah. Brother Nick Suzuki, right?
And Chicago Wolf too. So
yeah, there you go.
Chicago hockey adjacent, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So it's worth a mention. But like he didn't look out of place, and they the line was Suzuki, Juho Jaska, who had 2 assists.
2 apples.
Who?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, he just hung 2 assists on the Blackhawk.
Well, so. Yeah, well, it's a Blackhawk. So, yeah, they tend to do that, right? These guys coming into lineups and get their apples right away. How many times have we seen that this season? I'm surprised Suzuki didn't record a point tonight. But he looked good.
But, you put it was those two and Jackson Blake on a line together. And they create, and it's like that's just like the Hurricane system. Like you can plug and play these guys, like Jack Roslovic, who's having a really nice season, and Eric Robinson, who they're looking to extend and has had a really nice season. And just insert guy here. The only guy who doesn't seem to work out there was Michael Bunting last season.
Yeah. We were talking about synergy in one of my classes today, and that's the Hurricanes for it. It all just kind of comes together. I feel like they're kind of the stars of the Eastern Conference. It seems like they're so dependable every year, but they're always one step away, right? So maybe this year is the year both of them break through. Stars Canes, I just spoke that in existence. Yeah, maybe I just spoke that in existence. Stars Canes Cup final. That could be pretty fun. Yeah.
I was about to say,
I think that would be the ultimate snooze fest of the NHL ratings if it were
ratings wise. It would not
Stars,
be ideal.
Hurricanes.
Yeah, the markets, but like the teams,
the teams, it would be really good hockey.
It'd be fun for us.
Yeah, but
hockey fans, but not like the other viewers, the ESPN viewers, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
All right, that's enough Canes talk. Anything else you guys have from this game? I don't know if you guys had any outstanding negatives or something. Somebody asked us to do Soderblom talk. I thought he was just okay.
Oh yeah, no, I don't blame him. I think those goals are more defensive lapses and some offensive the turnovers, unfortunately for my boy Frank the Tank, but he'll bounce back. I'm not concerned about that. But no, I thought he was fine. 24 saves, 27 shots. I don't put this on him. I'm glad they started him, right? I think give him a few games, should be the starter. I think if Peters and that could have gone worse. So from that standpoint, no, I thought Soder had a fine game.
I think he had I think he had a few pretty big saves.
It's a big saves too. Yes.
It felt like they had a few like wide open looks right in front of the net that he was able to cover. So another strong game from him. Shocker, what's new? Soda's going to be our future.
Yeah, it must be said though, like he has been so consistent. Like he has not had many off games. And the off games he's had, I don't think they've been fully on him. Unlike Peter has had some like muffins. Like Soda hasn't had a ton of muffins this year. Yeah.
I just wanted to praise Landon Slaggert again. I thought he just looks so hungry out there, flies around the ice, really responsible defensively, and almost contributed to a goal tonight. I think it was on the PK. It was like he passed the puck through the crease. I thought we were going to get a shorty at one point, but
I'm so glad he's up here. Right, long time coming. He's been nice, little energy there in the bottom six.
Absolutely, and hopefully he'll stay that way going forward. No healthy scratching, Landon Slaggert, please.
Yeah, I think the forward core, is probably what it's going to be for a while now. I do wonder what's going to happen, when Craig Smith, Connor Murphy, like who's the first guy sent down on both ends. That'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I think Smith, we haven't really heard anything. I think he's on IR, but Murphy apparently isn't that far away. So we'll see who they send down. Probably Del Mastro, unfortunately. It's probably a Kevin situation. We're just kind of rewarding him a few games here, then he's probably back. But I'm just theorizing there, big picture stuff. Yeah.
Probably right on that.
All right. Anything else, fellas?
No, I mean, next game, we'll get into it more at the show tomorrow, but we got the Florida Panthers coming on Saturday afternoon, the Stanley Cup champs. So we got that to look forward to close out this road trip. I'm sure that'll go swimmingly.
I'm kind of pumped about that. A nice little afternoon game. We haven't had a lot of I think that might be the first noon game of the season for the Blackhawks.
It's got to be.
Really?
It's either the first or the second. We haven't had.
It's been a while.
I feel like we've had a 2 o'clock or a 4 o'clock a couple times,
but never a noon.
But not
game.
a noon game. Or was that game against Philly that we streamed here?
That might have been a noon
that
game.
Might have been a noon
I think that was it.
Other than that, that's it that we've had for noon games. And, sometimes we're up late. Tonight's I know Justin's an hour ahead of us, so it's 10:45 there. But, for us over here, it's not bad. Tonight's not bad for us, streaming the game too. But, a nice noon game will be all wrapped up by 3 o'clock. Post game will be done. And
have our Saturday.
Yeah.
The Hawks history against the Panthers, though, they did beat them this year. They do tend to match up well against them. Bedard always likes scoring goals in Florida too. And he has goals, both the games during this road trip, right? Let's make it 3, right? I'd like to see that.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Very nice. Let's get a multi-goal game. How has that not happened yet? Bedard has 15 goals yet. He's not had a multi-goal game yet. Let's nail that in there. Yeah, he spreads them out. Yeah. Let's see a dominant game. He's had a lot of really good ones. Let's see a dominant where he's no doubt about it, best player in the ice, monster game. I want to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would too. I think a lot of people would like to see that.
Yeah, thank God we had Justin to lean on for this post.
When he has a supporting cast next year, Mikko Rantanen and James Higgins, he's gonna go off, man. 100+ points, lock it in.
Could you imagine though, this Hawks team with that injection of life into it?
Dude, seriously, get
Mikko
both of them, right?
And Higgins.
Hell yeah. What a top line that would be. That'd be like Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman out there. Yeah, manifest destiny, baby.
We're making the playoffs next year. You heard it here first.
Oh my gosh.
We'll have a 22-23 Devils season. We're just out of nowhere. We're out of the rebuild and boom.
Pencil us in. Thanks.
I'll take some playoff, just the owners love the playoff revenue gate. I'll take the playoff post game shows.
Do wonders for this show.
CHR revenue.
We need some business going here. We can't cover our last place team again next year, right? Sorry, Gavin McKenna. It's not going to happen. By the way, actually, one more thing I got to say. There's a few people in that live stream who are saying, oh, Gavin McKenna has done things that Bedard's never done. Shut your ass up. Bedard had, a 28-game point streak that season for China. I think the points per game wise are around the same. So, and somebody's like, oh, I think he has a better shot. Are you kidding me? Maybe a better playmaker, but Betsy's shot compared to McKenna, not even close. They're on the same level.
Connor Bedard has a top 3 wrist shot in the world.
What the hell did Gavin McKenna do in the World Juniors? I think he was a ghost out there. Betsy takes over World Juniors and wins gold with Canada. He steps it up.
We are not the same.
McKenna is not that guy, and Celebrini isn't either. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
You guys in the chat are hilarious. All right. That's it from us. We will be back tomorrow for a podcast. So we have Blackhawks Insider joining us. What's his actual name, Justin? I teased it on the live stream. I don't know what his actual name is, though.
I should know his actual. I just refer to him as Blackhawks Insider. We all just refer to like we never. I don't know what any of these people's names are. I just refer to them as either their meme handles or like their page handles. Like I generally don't know. I will get that. I will get the information to you tomorrow.
No, honestly, please don't. I'm excited to welcome him onto the show as Mr. Blackhawks Insider.
I think it'd probably be good if we knew his name before going into that.
It might be his name.
First
name Blackhawks, last name Insider.
Can Mr. Blackhawks Insider wear a suit?
Why don't you wear a suit?
I'll wear a suit.
I'll wear a suit.
I don't think I've ever worn a suit.
No, actually, I can't wear a suit.
I don't know if I brought mine.
I'm going
to
to
home.
Sweet Angel's house.
Oh my God, you're a weenie.
Boy.
He's a weenie, dude.
Sorry for finding love.
Oh my God.
Good for you, man. I find love in other ways.
Yeah. So I will actually just while we're talking, hold me to it. I will wear a coat for tomorrow's show. I'll wear a nice, maybe not a tie, but I will wear.
I was gonna say, you're gonna be one of those goofies that wears a t-shirt under their fucking coat.
I'm not gonna wear. No, dude.
That shit pisses me off.
I can't pull that off. First of all, I don't have the style to pull that off.
That's not style. That's like millennial hipster, like out of touch with reality, fucking garbage. All right.
No. That's a good way to close it up.
Got totally off the rails. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, please, please, please. Follow us on Instagram at Chicago Hockey Radio. We got a couple of people that did it while we've been doing this. So
we're so close to 420 subscribers on YouTube. Get us there.
Yeah. No, we hit 420 during the show.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh,
during this.
really? I must have not.
Refresh your page there, brother.
Holy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta get some. I don't think I have anything here. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right. So subscribe to this YouTube channel so we can get off of 420. Follow us on Instagram. We're really close now to 800. So that's really cool considering we were at like 600 yesterday. And leave a 5-star rating and review on this podcast, whether you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or you're right here in the YouTube right now and you're like, how can I help these guys? Go and do that because it really helps us out a ton. Enter our ticket giveaway with the barn. You have until Sunday. And CHR live show, in-person live stream at Midwest Coast Brewing March 5th against the Ottawa Senators. We will be there, and you should too. Otherwise, you are a square. What do you got there, Justin? Connor Bedard.
Oh, I thought this was Bedard. This is actually Patrick Kane. I thought it was Bedard. Damn it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They're both the chosen ones, right? They're both my Pookies. So yeah.
You're holding it up the whole time, not realizing it was Kaner. That's amazing.
Well, so at distance, I just saw the 8s, and I'm like, oh, yeah. It's easier. He looks like Kane out there, right? The 98 similar frame, and he really does. Yeah.
True.
All right. We will see everybody tomorrow. Peace out.